And now let's move to the next presentation, which is going to be by Misao Yokoyama on wood identification of pagodas in Japan.
Thank you for Chairman. I'd like to introduce my recent work about wood identification of pagoda in Japan. So now you can see that this temple is a Horyuji temple, the oldest wooden building in the world. The wood member is used in more than 90% of buildings listed as a national property of Japan. We have been investigated and identified wood species of each building members of this traditional Japanese architecture under reconstruction. So this figure is our previous studies. So it shows a trend in trend of wood selection of traditional Japanese architectures. Now you can see the hinoki, a Kamae cypress of Tuster, is main material in Japan since the 7th century. And there is an epoch in 16th century, and wood selection depends on building its components. So this is anatomical features of hinoki cypress. So wood identification of building members is a powerful tool and to understand the light wooden material in the right place and investigate architectural background. So in this presentation, there are some typical Japanese wooden structure and pagoda representing each era. The first, the ancient, the next, the medieval, and last, early modern. The pagoda is a symbol of the Buddhist precinct as relicary. The first, the pagoda in 700s, ancient. This is Horyuji Temple. The Horyuji is selected by UNESCO as a part of the World Heritage. The five storied pagoda at the Horyuji Temple is the oldest pagoda of this type in Japan and one of the oldest surviving wooden towers in the world. It was erected during the Asuka period to enshrine sacred relics of the Buddha. So this is one big sample of the central pillar of the pagoda of Horyuji. It is stored in Research Institute of Sustainable Humanosphere, Kyoto University. This central pillar was hinoki, and it is built in the 7th century. This is a central pillar. And next, pagoda in 1500s, in medieval era. So this sample is a Kiyomizu-dera temple in Kyoto. The Kiyomizu-dera temple this is a very famous main hall of Kiyomizu-dera. This is also registered on the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage List as one of the historical monuments of ancient Kyoto. Kiyomizu-dera temple was founded in the 8th century. On the ground of this temple, the Koyasu no To, this is a 3-storied pagoda, was rebuilt in 1500s. This is Koyasunoto. You can see 3-storied pagoda. So now you can see the central pillar of Kiyomizu-dera Koyasunoto. This is made of hinoki. So we have investigated more than 2,000 samples of Kiyomizu-dera Koyasunoto, and original members in 1500s, 70% members are hinoki cypress, and 10% is Japanese zelkoba. This is an anatomical feature of zelkoba serrata. And reconstruction in 1700s, 75% consists of hinoki cypress, and 15% is Japanese pine. This is anatomical feature of Japanese pine. And next reconstruction in 1900s, 17% is hinoki and 30% is zelkoba serrata. So hinoki cypress were mainly used in this pagoda, and zelkoba were used for the beam block at the top of the pillar. And last case, pagoda in 1900s, early modern times. This is Motoyamaji Temple in Kagawa Prefecture. Motoyamaji was originally built in 9th century. On the ground of the Motoyamaji, the 5th-storied pagoda was rebuilt in 1900s. This pagoda has been reconstruction since these years and registered on the Motoyo City Cultural Heritage List. We investigated more than 200 samples of this pagoda. And now you can see the central pillar of the pagoda, Motoyamaji Temple. So this is a section of the bottom pillar. The center pillar consists of 4 members of this temple. Like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the bottom one were koyamaki, Japanese umbrella pine. The other 3 pillars are hinoki cypress. So hinoki cypress and the koyamaki, Japanese umbrella pine, and Japanese pine are 90% of the total. And ancient records of Motoyamaji reveal that the head temple, Koya-san, gave koyamaki tree or timbers for this construction. So we can understand wood was selected not only for mechanical properties, but also spiritual meaning and social background. So this is briefly conclusion. There are some typical Japanese wooden pagodas representing each era: ancient in 700s, Hoiju Temple, Nara; medieval in 1500s, Kiyomizu-dera Temple, Kyoto; and early modern times in 1900s, Motoyamaji, Kagawa. Hinoki wood has been main material for Japanese Buddhist architecture, and the pagoda has been no exception. Especially the central pillar of pagoda is also made of hinoki wood. And wood selection is not only for mechanical reasons, but for religion reasons and social background. Thank you very much for support of this research, Kiyomizu Temple, Motoyamaji Temple, at the Cultural Properties Protection Division of Kyoto Prefecture, Japan, and Architecture Preservation Committee of Motoyamaji, Kagawa Prefecture, and Dr. Luo Bei. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Yokohama. It never ceases to amaze me how old wooden buildings are in Japan. It's simply amazing, you know. Where I live, this is not going to happen. They will get, burned down at some point. Yes, questions, please.
I have raised my hand. May I?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, thank you very, very much, Dr. Yokoyama.
Thank you very much.
I was wondering, the medieval and the earliest pagodas had about 85 or to 90% hinoki plus Selkova, but you did not say what the small percentages were, 10%, 15% of other species. Can you tell me which other species did you find?
Yes. Other species are also softwood.
Are they Cryptomeria japonica?
Yes, Cryptomeria, and is also kind of cedar and pine.
Okay.
Japanese pine.
Okay. Do you have an explanation why the very common Cryptomeria japonica is used so little for pagoda and temple building? Is it too common, too cheap?
Cryptomeria is also common tree, but I have no idea why they didn't use Cryptomeria. So they
I'm almost surprised about that.
Oh, really?
Yes, perhaps Professor Kim knows. Yes, he does.
Yes, please, go ahead.
You have to unmute, Kim.
Yes, yes, please. We cannot hear you.
You're muted.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I have not enough information, but beside the peat bars, I have one short questions and comment. According to your presentation, the pagoda in 1900, Motoyamaji Temple, you mentioned the koyamaki.
Yes.
Umbrella pine trees was first employed. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yes.
As far as I understand, koyamayaki, Japanese umbrella pine, is highly regarded, highly appreciated pine species in Japan.
Yes.
As far as I know, the emperor's tomb coffin has been made by the umbrella pine.
Yes.
But why the umbrella pine has been quite lately constructed in pagoda? Mostly the hinoki has been used, but did not use the umbrella pine.
Yes.
But as far as I know, you have mentioned that not just the mechanical properties, but religions and also some Japanese philosophy might be involved for the construction of the Buddhist pagoda. Then what's the role of the Japanese umbrella pine for the Buddhism or the religion in terms of the religion? Can you have any idea?
Yes. So Motoyamaji is belong to the Koya-san, is a head temple. So and the Koya-san gave the Koyamaki. Koyamaki, the name from Koya-san. So this is famous for the Koya-san trees. And the head temple of Koya-san gave precious Koyamaki to this Motoyamaji for reconstruction. So they used the most important part of the bottom of pillar. So they use the umbrella pine. And in this presentation, I shortcut the other result, but they use the koyamaki is a same this level. They totally 70% members are koyamaki of these stories.
I understand. Thank you for your commentation. Actually, then this is the first time to
Yes.
use the koyamaki
Yes,
for the
exactly.
construction of Japanese pagoda.
Yes,
Previously, mostly hinoki and the sugi has been have been applied, but not koyama umbrella file.
yes,
Quite interesting.
yes. Thank
Okay,
you very
for
much.
your comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. We still have 1 minute if someone has a question. A quick question. No? Thank you very much. Then Dr. Yokoyama, and we'll move on
Thank you
to the
very much.
next